Hey guys, hope you're doing good. In this video, I'm going to talk about completing the Salesforce admin certification within 5 weeks. Let's see the basics and how the preparation should be to complete it and the way to register for the certification exam. Let's get to the basics. Salesforce is giving the great opportunity to learn the functionalities and you can try the same in Salesforce application at the same time. Salesforce is providing a free developer sandboxes where you can sign up for yourself and see how the things are behaving in the real time. It is good for us to see how the application will look like and we will be very familiar with the menu options and the navigations to get what we needed. Actually, when I started Salesforce, like with the zero experience, Trailhead helped me a lot to know the things that I don't know of. Like even I don't know how to search the user or reset the password. Trailhead helped me a lot. Like name it whatever, you will get everything in the Salesforce Trailhead. So it is a powerful tool that they have developed, and we should make use of it. Also, I have added the link of the trial mix for admin certification. Like it's not really about admin certification, but if you want to develop administrator knowledge, this trial mix would be helpful to develop your admin knowledge. So here in that you'll find a sequence of training and exercises provided by Salesforce to enhance your admin skills that will help you to understand the functionality and that every admin should be aware of, and it will help us to complete our daily activities once we get into our real-time Salesforce project. So I have added all the trailhead and this trail mix and the link to sign up for a new Salesforce developer application. Everything I have provided in my description, so just make use of it. All right, let's get into the preparation of topics for our admin certification. So here I have given the topics and the weightage percentage on the right side of each topics. All the highlighted topics like security and access, sales and marketing, standard and custom objects, service and support applications, workflow, process automation, and analytics. All these topics are very important since they are having a more number of weightage percentage in the certification exam. So if you focus on these topics alone, you will crack down the certification. Since we just needed to score 65% of correct answers in our certification, so which is like I think so 39 correct answers in 65 overall questions. All we need to have a thorough knowledge of these topics and what it is really doing in the Salesforce application. Let's go ahead and see in the next slides. All right, as we said earlier, we are going to see how to prepare ourselves for Salesforce certification within 5 weeks. So I just splitted the topics to into each weeks so that it will be very easy for you to start and proceed with the plan accordingly. So for week one, I just put down this organization setup, user management, standard and custom objects. Let's see what it really has. So organization setup, it has a 3% of weightage, and all it really need is uh, what you do in while you are setting up your organization, like the fiscal year. Like the fiscal year is nothing but how your organization is going to track down their dates, like what is their are you going to use financial year or academic year or your own year customizations. So all you need to provide in the fiscal year thing. And business hours is like, what is your exact business hours? Are you in PST or in your Australia or Singapore or somewhere? All you need to configure your business hours so that Salesforce will uh, run the bad jobs or something based on your business hours and non-business hours wherever it is applicable. And your currency management belongs to your country and few default settings. So you can just go through these things. These are the important things that you have to be aware of in the organizational setup. And a few other things like list views, homepage layouts, search settings. So all you need to do is how you can configure these things and how it is behaving for in the user experience. So these are the things you have to focus on all the topics. For organization setup, you have to focus on these topics. And then next, we'll go to user setup. So it is having a 7 percentage of weightage, and you have to know what is licenses. Salesforce is having multiple licenses: Chatter license, Salesforce license, platform license. So all you have to know, like, what exactly they are doing with this license and how we can effectively assign those license to the users, and what will happen when the user goes inactive. And so see, in case your organization has assigned 100 license, and if but you have more users or less users, if someone so you are using all your 100 license assigned licenses, and if you want to assign to a new person, then what will happen? So these are the scenario based questions. So you have to know what license is doing exactly in Salesforce, and how to reset the passwords, and how to unlock the user. And there are few things in Salesforce you have to be aware of. Maybe it is slightly, they will ask this in our Salesforce admin interview as well, but I just wanted to let you know. Like in Salesforce, we cannot delete the user. So once you created the user, then you cannot delete the user. You can inactive or you can freeze the user. You can do either of this, but you cannot delete the user. So you have to be aware of these things: how we can deactivate, or how we can freeze the user. What is the difference between deactivating and freezing the user? So these are the things you have to focus on this user setup. And then standard and custom objects. So here Salesforce is providing some few out-of-box standard objects like accounts, cases, products, tasks, and so on. So if you don't have a requirement to create any custom objects, then well and good. You need not to know about it. But for admin certification, we have to know. Anyways, we cannot blindly utilize the standard objects that they have provided. We might require to create new fields in the standard objects as well, and in some time you have to create your own custom objects as well. We have to know what is the difference between standard and custom object, and what is the restriction between a standard and custom object. Like, just on top of my head, I know that in standard object we cannot rename the fields that they have already provided, and in custom object we can do whatever we want since we are inventing that object. So you have to know how to create and delete or customize the fields, and you have to know what is page layout, and what is record type. So There is a concept called record type where our object will have multiple record type. Based on the record type, you can assign the layouts. All right. In week two, we are we are going to see security and data access management. And as you see, security and access having 13 percentage of weightage in the overall certification exam. So this is also an important topic. And here you need to know like what are all the various security control that Salesforce has. So like passwords, IP restrictions, and network settings, and so on. So you have to just know what are the use of these things in security and access, and you have to be very familiar with few scenario based questions. Like they might ask how you can share a record with a group of user, or how you can restrict a record view of a group of a bunch of people. So you have to know about what is sharing rules and sharing settings, how what are all the types that we can share, like can we share it with group, or can we share it with profile, or like you have to know nook and corner of the sharing rule settings. So only with that we can restrict the user visibility of the record. So few records is not meant to see for by the group of people. For them, we have to restrict it, and few people, even though we are restricting it, but some of the few people still wanted to see those records. So for that, we have to customize and do few updates in the sharing settings to achieve those requirements. So we have to know how we can do those sharing rules, groups, and sharing settings. How we can do that? You have to read through that, and then like there are two things about access, profiles and permission sets. So what is profile and permission set? So with profile, you can uh, give access. You can enable all the access like create, read, edit, privileges, and each user will have only one profile. So with that profile, if you're giving those access, that is like a bunch of, so whoever in that profile will be able to do all those permissions, like whatever the permissions that you have given on a specific object, all the users in the profile can do perform that options. And what is permission set? So it is the same thing like a profiles, but with permission sets, it is not restricted for like one for one user. So permission sets can be assigned to multiple users, and as well as more number of permission sets can be assigned to a single user. So there are a difference. So see, yeah, we can take this as an example. So a group of people assigned to a profile, and they are having the same set of access since we assign the same profile to them. And within that group, only two of the users will have more. Per, they required more permission than all the other remaining groups. Say in case all the group having read and edit view, edit access, but this two guys need delete access as well. So if you add the delete access in the profile, all the users assigned to the profile will have the delete access, but they don't want to do it. So at the time, we have to create a new permission set with only two, like only a delete option, like what are the additional permissions that they needed, and we have to enable in that permission set and assign that permission set to that users. So in that way, we can achieve that requirement. So these are few scenarios. They might ask few questions, but if you know these things, then yeah, it is like a piece of cake. And then next topic is data management. So it is having a 10 percentage of weightage, and here we are doing import and export, mass delete and transfer. Okay, so for this data management, they have a few tools like Workbench and Data Loader. Uh, you have to know how, like, basic SOQL queries to fetch data from Salesforce. You can query it and you can fetch the data. So yes, you have to know the basic SOQL. It's not like you have to build a very big query with joins and other things like SQL or Oracle, but simple query, simple query building knowledge will be very helpful to uh, like understand this data management. It's simple like you created an object and you have to transfer from your legacy system the data from your legacy system. Like how you have to map that fields, right? So from your legacy system and from your new Salesforce application, the data transfer should have the fields, field mapping and the data mapping should be done. So all those things will be managed in this data management, like yeah, data transfer or data deletion or creating new data, like bulk new data. And yeah, those are the things you have to know. And the other thing you have to know was like, what are the restrictions? Uh, they are having few restrictions. Like you have to if you're importing data, you have to prepare a CSV. Uh, it only accepts CSV. Data loader only accepts CSV. So those are some things that you have to be very, like understand before going into the next topic. So data management is one of the key thing, but it's not very complicated one. But y- yeah, all right. In week 3, we are going to see about sales and marketing and service and support applications. Service and support application having the weightage of 13%, and we have to see what is case management, like how the case process and what are all the case settings that are available, and what are the case comments and what is case notes, and how we can attach a file to a case, how to create a case and how to close it, and what are all the things happening between creation and till it get closed. So you have to know how the case behaves in Salesforce. And there are few other things as well. They have case assignment rule, auto response rule, and escalation rules. Its case assignment rule is simple, like you can configure if these pick list or these if these values are selected, it should go to this queue. It's simple like if it is a computer related issue case, then it should go to your IT department, and if it is a payroll related things, it should go to our HR and payroll related department. So we can configure Salesforce according to the settings. Yeah, based on the selection that user makes, the appropriate cases is going to the correct team, so that there will be no delay in case processing and other stuffs. So we have to know other those things like escalation. What is escalation? So if it is being an unanswered for a week, it should move to it should inform these managers or something. So we can configure that also, that Salesforce trigger email automatically to our superiors. So that kind of thing we have to know how those things are configurable, and uh, how it can be configured, and what are the options that are available in those options. And we should know about what is Salesforce knowledge and communities. Knowledge is nothing about um, you can create a knowledge articles, so that whenever user creating a case related to those topics, that knowledge articles will automatically pop up, so they can see those articles whether it is related to their problem, then they can see that article and resolve their issue. Yeah, or else if some users will raise a case for the same issue, then we can what the case analyst can do is uh, attach that article that we have already developed to the case and ask the user to refer it. So we are having multiple options around that knowledge. So we have to know what exactly the knowledge is capable of in the Salesforce ecosystem. And the other thing is sales and marketing applications. It has 14%. So it is like um, creating and maintaining the products in Salesforce. So maybe your company is developing a product, and they're selling it or something. Then you can configure those products in Salesforce. Like if your company is selling a mouse or a computer or computer related accessories, then you can add all the products into the system, Salesforce system, and you can define the price in the price book, and you can maintain it, so that whenever users search the product, they will see the product that they wanted to uh, purchase it, and they will see what is the price of the product as well, so that they can proceed with their next steps accordingly. And this one having some tools like lead automation tools and campaign management. How you have to see what really is capable of. I'm not sure about this campaign management. I forget what is the use of the campaign management, but yeah, it's good to know. Good good for you to study about this campaign management as well. And then we are entering into week four. Week four, just take all the leftover topics and just read through it. So these are might be you have covered all those things in previous topics like reports and dashboards and all we have covered. I think in security and access, I think so. Like how to share reports and how to share the dashboards. So here you'll see how we can create a reports and dashboards, and what are all the components that are available to display the reports in a attractable way. Like there are you can create a report with a tabular column, or you can create a report with summarized manner, and you can add a few charts to the report like pie chart or some other chart. There are multiple charts available in that report. Like, you can add that. So those all the things will be covered here. You will get questions like what are all the charts available, and how we can share the report, or how we can schedule the report to be delivered to some users. So these kind of questions you'll get it in this topic. All right, let's see this workflow and process automation. So let's start with workflow. So Salesforce first introduced workflow in their application. So workflow is having four different operations like email alert can be sent, field update can happen, and what are the other things? Yeah, task creation can be done, and another thing is there. So only four operations can be we can do by workflow, and then they come up with process builder. So process builder is enhancement functionality of workflow, and we can do 24 different operations with process builder, uh, like creation, record creation, and field update, email alert, or updating the field. So and calling the Apex class or calling the flow. Yeah, we can do multiple things uh, with process builder. And then now they have introduced flow, so it is there for a quite long time, but yeah, they have taken flow very seriously, and they're focusing on enhancing flow in their upcoming releases. So they have left out, so workflow is completely out of their vision, and maybe they have some few things on process builder, but full focus is there on flow now. So just we have to know what are the restrictions between workflow, process builder, and flow, and what are the advantages, and how to create it, how to debug, and how to run it. We have to know all these things in this topic. Yeah, once you get into this workflow and process builder, then you'll know what exactly they're doing. And we have trailhead exercise exclusively for flow, workflow, and process builder. It will just go through it. That will give you a very much idea to cover this topic. And the other three are relatively very simple and small. You can just go through your trailhead modules for this, and that is pretty much enough for this topics. And then week 5 is self-appraisal. So all the 4 weeks we have learned so many things, and we have to check our knowledge whether we are very capable of taking the exam or not. So for that, you have to do some mock training or mock certification exam available in online. Just take yourself and test your knowledge whether you are answering all the answers correctly or not. If not, then you have to focus on those topics again, and you'll see, right, what topics you have to focus more, and what is your strong area. So based on that, you can analyze yourself and prepare accordingly. And these are the details that you should know about the exam. There will be 65 questions in your certification exam, and in that 5 are non-scored questions, and only 60 will be considered as your answers. And they will be providing 105 minutes, that is nearly one 1 hour and 45 minutes, I guess so. So yeah, you'll get that minutes, and the passing score for the certification is 65%, and you have to mm, get it right of 39 correct answers. So the thing is, in overall 60 questions, you have to get 39 answers correct. So, which means you will get the certification, obviously. And the registration fee for the certification is $200. And if in case if you want to retake in cases like if you got failed, or yeah, if you got failed, then you have to retake the exam for $100. And here is the way you can register for your certification. Go to web assessor, and if you don't have profile on that particular platform, create a profile and select register for exam and choose your exam. If it is Salesforce certification, then choose Salesforce certification and select whether on-site or online. On-site is you have to go to a center where they are providing that option, and you have to be there to complete the exam. Or you can select online as well. Now with this COVID things, they have removed certain restrictions on online exams. So previously in online exam, they we have to have a webcam like set up parallel to us, which should focus, which should cover our laptop or our system, and as well as us. So the webcam should capture both the images in our online exam. But now they have removed that restriction, and we can use our laptop inbuilt cams to complete that exams. So that is one of a good advantage in online. And then, yeah, you have to select whether on-site or online, and register for it. And as you know, for the first time you have to pay $200, and if you're retaking the exam, then it is $100. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to share, and that's all I know for this certification. Let me know if you have any questions. If in any way I can help you to prepare or clear the certification, I'll be very glad. Please reach out to me, and let us see how we can help. Until then, take care, and see you in some other video with the different topics. See you guys. Bye bye.